What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Those are the four we're going to be going over today. Right now, we're going to be starting in on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. We're sitting at $8,903. We're up 0.8%. What I want to do is talk about this little area that we've been dealing with here. And I got into it a little bit yesterday. We were talking about potentially having a little bit of a pennant formed right up in this area. And typically with pennants, what you'll have is this long pole, just like we have right here. Then you almost get into a small symmetrical triangle, and it's called a pennant because it's less than 3 weeks in duration. So once you have this little pennant here, we're going to be waiting either for an upside break or a downside break. It can break either way. A lot of times you'll want to continue with the trend. So we've had this pull up, and now you can see how the volume's really diminished here, and that's typical with these pennants. So we're going to have to be careful and wait and see if we're going to get that upside break. Now, for us, what we need to look at here is overhead resistances. I think that's really important. So our first overhead resistance that we got is $9,063. And then the area up above that is going to be $9,314. And then we'd be looking at that $10,542. Obviously, we could do a few little ones in here, but these are the main ones that I'm looking at. We really need to get back up over top of $9,000. This area, $9,063, and turn that into support so we can go up and tackle that $9,300, because that's where we basically wicked up to last time. We couldn't get up above it, and that's when we started to drop back down. We ended up going to about $8,398. Now, in terms of support, we're looking to hold $8,474. You can see this previous area that we had here as well. We've wicked out and touched it, and that's also off this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame here. And that's what's so important now, guys. We're still trading up above on the 4-hour. We're up above our 20, our 50, and our 200. So obviously the trend is still moving up, looking good right now, but we potentially just need even more consolidation in this area. Maybe we move sideways for another day or so, but we have to wait and we have to be patient right now. For me, like I said, guys, I took some profits on this nice pump here. I'm waiting for another great opportunity. I haven't seen it yet, but I think there could be another opportunity for a leg up to try to hit that 10,542 to at least try to test this previous high here. Because if we go out through this and we take a look here, all we've been having is lower highs. You can see here's our high. This was around that $14,000 in 2019. And then right here, we had our lower high, and then this would just be a lower high if we can't get over top of that 10,542. So that's why I almost feel like down the road here, we could test that again just to see what we do with it here, especially with the halving coming up here in roughly, guys, what's it, 18 days? I think people have been talking about May 20th. It is. I haven't been paying too much attention. Like I said, I'm strictly a technical guy. I really look at the buying and the selling pressures, and that's what I like to go off of. I'm not just strictly off the fundamental news. But when you look at this and you can see here, what I really do like for Bitcoin is that we've been building these support areas. It hasn't just been one straight drop here. See how this was a straight drop? It hasn't just been one of those massive pumps to the upside. We've built support. You can see each area here. So we have support at 7,408. We have support at 7,808. We have support around that 8,474. We would have support around 8,631. So that's the nice thing, that we have these areas of potential support if we do start moving to the downside there. And then what I wanted to do for Bitcoin was go out to the 1-day time frame and take a look at this. I'm going to throw on some moving averages here for us as well. So for Bitcoin, we're trading up above the 50, we're up above our 20 EMA, and we're up above that 200 on the 1-day time frame. I still wouldn't be that shocked if we came back and back tested the 200 moving average. That's at about $8,000. Guys, that happens a lot. You'll break up through, you'll come back, you'll test it, and then you'll try to get up again. I'm not saying it has to happen, but that's definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on here. Then you can see on the 1-day time frame, one thing why I took my profits is, do you see this really long leg, like doji candle almost? It's even nastier than like a long leg doji, this really long wick up here. It also came on heavy volume. You can see the average volume right down here came on heavy volume. So that was significant. There was a lot of people selling off with me in this area here. And I believe people are waiting for that next cool down, that next opportunity to potentially go long and see if we can test that 10,542. But for me, this is kind of a no trade zone right now. I just really want to see what goes on in terms of indicators, stock RSI. You can see right there we're at 90 and 92, so we're in that overbought territory. And this cross that we started to have was also correlating with that long leg doji with the heavier volume. So we need to be aware of that. In terms of the MACD, take a look at that. We've still been bullish on that. So that one's looking good there, no problems there. Relative strength index, we're up around 73, and this 73, same deal, was correlating with us in this higher price range. So we may need to cool down a little bit. We'll have to see. We know in Bitcoin we can pump extremely hard, guys, but this typically is that area of overhead resistance that we deal with and we run into. You can see back in here, we ended up getting up into about 89.90 on the RSI. So that's what I mean. It's definitely possible if we want to break out of this pennant here and make a nice next strong move here. It definitely can happen. So we do have to be aware of that as well. Volatility stop on the 1-day time frame now is at 7,992. And you can see, guys, how that just correlates right along with this 200 moving average. Okay, when they're factoring in all this volatility, you can see these little marks here that was showing you where to put your stop loss if you were in a long position, because on the 1-day time frame, you can see the trend is up. So if you are playing a position, you want to be in a long position, not now on the one, or not short on the 1-day time frame. So that's definitely something I'm looking at there, but we'll just have to see. We have to be patient. Now is the time to be patient, in my opinion, and I believe the patient will be the ones who are rewarded. So let's go back into the 4-hour time frame. We're going to get into Litecoin next. If you guys get some from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell like I talked to you all before. Even leaving an exclamation point, just a number, something down there really helps out with the algorithm, and I appreciate it. For all you 200 people who usually give me thumbs up, guys, it really helps. So let's get into Litecoin. But you can see Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame. One more quick thing here. You can see that we're in that little short-term downtrend. The volatility stop is red here. So that's something that will just help you align with the trend. I think it helps. It can be very beneficial. So for Litecoin now, take a look at this. Litecoin, same deal. We had a lot of heavy sell-off right up at the top here. Then we had a very powerful candle to the downside. We have back tested. We've been holding this area of $46.70. That was the area that I've been looking at for quite a while now, because this was our previous resistance. We broke up through it, and now we're trying to find support off it. If we are to find support off this and make a next move to the upside, we need to get up above $48.13, and it's going to be up around $51 is going to be the area. Right up here. That's where we previously hit before, and that was this little bear flag where we had a sharp move down, move sideways, then we lost it again. So that's what we're going to need to get up above. But guys, if we can get up above 51, it could be smooth sailing all the way up to about $57, and then even up to that $63. So this was just a big area for us to get up over. Right now, things are still bullish for Litecoin, like we've talked about. I'm not in a position right now, guys. I took my profit. I'm being calm, being patient. But for me, I'm trying to see us hold up above this white trend line. That's what we want to see coming in. We want to stay up above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, the 50, as well as that 20. Same deal on the 4-hour. You can see our volatility stop is red, so that's showing you that we're in that short-term downtrend right now. We're cooling down. Each time we have that, you can see the red over here when we're in a downtrend, so that can help you out. If we go out to Litecoin on the 1-day time frame, take a look at this. Litecoin has not gotten over its 200-day moving average yet. And I think that's significant. You can see these longer wicks where we've gotten up here and we've kind of felt it out, but we didn't get up above it. So for Litecoin, we need huge volume to come back in, and we're not having it right now. We need big volume to get up over top of that 200 moving average, which is also an area that's correlating with some overhead resistance as well. We got some resistance areas that are going to take place at about $52.69 on the 1-day time frame here. So this is a tough area. If I just get this little thing out here, guys, this area right here, that's a tough area for us. That's something that we're definitely going to want to watch, because if we break through it, we want to then turn that into support. But right now, still, we're in an uptrend, guys. In intermediate term, we're in an uptrend. In the macro sense, we're still in a downtrend. This is a reaction that we're having here. And if we take our Fibonacci and we go from our high right up here to our low, you can see this 200 is correlating with this 0.618 as well on this reaction. A lot of times you'll get selling pressure around there, and that's why I took profits. Guys, whenever I have profits, I'm going to take them, and then I'll look for another great opportunity to jump back in. In this market, take a look, guys. I mean, look at the movements in this market. There's always going to be another opportunity. We're always going to retrace. There's always going to be profit that's taken. It's just something that you have to deal with and you have to realize. Now, for Litecoin, in terms of the stock, we did get our downside cross right up here with this bearish candle at that 200 moving average, right around that 0.618. So we're crossing to the downside there. We need to be aware of that. I like using the stock for a lot of things. That's on the 1 day. Then we'll take a look at the relative strength for it here. We're at 59. So relative strength's not looking too bad. We definitely could have more room to run there. And what I would put on is a trend line. right here, and make sure we stay up above that trend line if you're still in a position. I think that's very important for us. And as you see before, our RSI can get very overextended, even up into the 80s for Litecoin. And then we'll do our awesome oscillator. So the awesome oscillator right here, still moving to the upside there, taking to the positive. So we're just going to have to continue to see what happens. We need more volume to come in here. We need to find support off that 0.5, right around that $45.89. That's going to be extremely important for us. So that's Litecoin, guys, part of the Litecoin family there. Smash that like button. Let me know down low. Are you in a position? Are you waiting to get back in a position? Were you in a position? Did you sell out? Take some profit? I love to hear what you guys are doing as well. And then we'll move into Ethereum. Take a look at that. ETH is at 213 right now. ETH has been just very strong, just really moving up in a nice, beautiful trend line here. This now is on the 1-day time frame. So we're going to start it on the 1 day, then we'll get to the 4-hour time frame. Volatility stop is at $188. So it's saying that on the 1 day, if you're long, that's where you'd want to be putting your stop loss at. We want to stay up above this yellow trend line right here. We also want to stay up above this $205 that we have broken up through right here. This was our previous resistance. Excuse me, we broke up through. We want to turn it to support so that we can potentially come up here and maybe tackle that $247. But same deal. What I like here about Ethereum, even more so than the Litecoin situation, it's trading up above that 200 moving average. Even though it's flat right now, it doesn't mean as much as when it's trending up or down. But we're up above it. We're up above the 20 and we're up above the 50 right there. Now, in terms of indicators, we'll take a quick look at the stock. We are having our downside cross right here, coming on a little bit more volume with that bearish candle, so let's be aware of that. And then we'll look at our relative strength index. RSI is at 67, getting closer to that 70 mark of that overbought, but we've seen Ethereum up at 90 before. This last run, we got up into the 90s, so we're not near that overbought territory yet for Ethereum. We still could push up a little bit higher there if the bulls want to step in. Remember, guys, it's all about the bulls, if they're going to step in or not. If the big market makers are going to step in, they're the ones who are going to move this market. We're not going to move this market, and they can do whatever they want to do with it. So right here on the 4 hour, still up above our 20, our 50, our 200, our yellow trend line. But you can see in the short term here, our volatility stop is red. So that's showing a short term downtrend there. Volatility stop, say you were shorting this on the 4 hour, is going to be at around 201, and that would have you as protection. But I would not recommend shorting in this area. We're still up above, our trend lines, our moving averages. This would not be the time to jump in and short, in my opinion, unless you use just a very tight stop loss. But I feel like the trend has been up, and you typically don't want to go against the trend. That's what I always like to align myself with the trend, whether up or down. So that's Ethereum. Those are the areas we want to look for, guys. Want to hold that 204.90 is going to be key. Also, this 50 moving average and this yellow trend line. Keep an eye on that. And then we're going to be going into XRP here. If you like me covering Ethereum, I know not a ton of people are Ethereum buffs out there, at least on my channel. But if you do like it, let me know down low so I can keep doing it for you. And then we'll get into our XRP. This can be at 22 cents right now. This can be on the 4 hour time frame. What we need to do is hold as support 0.21443 is going to be an area, and then we need to get over top of roughly about 0.23636 is going to be our overhead resistance area, our high that we need to get up above and set a higher high so that we can come up there and tackle around that 0.24612 area. But same deal with XRP here. We still are in that intermediate term uptrend. Now, when we look at this, though, I want you to be aware of this. Check out all the lower highs that have just been coming in, though, for XRP. I mean, guys, this is where we really need to get up through here and see if we can get over top of 34 cents eventually, because we've just been having lower highs coming in. And with lower highs consistently coming in, the trend will want to stay that way. So that's why we need to break out of that. It's extremely important. But take a look at this now on the 1 day. You can see this a little bit better. So here was our high. We made it up to about $3, and we'll call it 25 cents there. Lower high, lower high, lower high. This here, this was almost, we were looking at a lower high here. Okay, same deal, lower high, but this was the one where we broke out. We had a higher high, but we set a lower low. So that was our problem there. See all these lower lows coming in? So now we need to get back up above and break around that 34 cents, this previous high, to start getting back up and maybe challenging some of those areas around 48 cents, 53 cents, 59 cents. You can see all the overhead resistance areas that we've been dealing with there. Now, if you're in a position, I'll give you the volatility stop here because I like you. The volatility stop is at 20 cents right now, 0.20153. So that's saying if you're in a position on the 1-day time frame, that's about where you would want your stop loss. Now, for me, I don't want to see us drop below that 0.17853, this support area. That's a big deal for us there. Had a little bit above average volume on a bullish engulfing candle. That was important. That was after we had this little trend line breakout that we've had. But, you know, XRP just really needs to keep moving. We need to get up into some of these higher levels, guys, so we can start getting back up there around that 34 cents. That's going to be a big deal for us. And then we'll look at our stock RSI on the 1-day. We have a downward cross here correlating with that 200 moving average. So we got stuff there, and that was also a bearish engulfing candle. So that's not a good sight right there. We want to reverse that. And then we'll take a look here at our relative strength index. Relative strength index is at 64, still setting higher lows there, so we'll just keep an eye on it. But overall, guys, you know, that's the main thing for XRP. I want us to stay above, you know, 0.21443 is going to be the key there. That's previous resistance that we broke up through. We really don't want to be dropping that. And then to the upside, we need to break out and get up above that 0.22684. That was the previous candle close that we had up here, right around that 200 moving average. You see that wick that went through it and really tested it out there? That's something that's important for us. And then I'll throw this on for the XRP people who are still here. We'll take a look at our technical analysis. So on the 1-day here, we're looking at oscillators: 1 sell, 7 neutral, 3 buy. The overall summary: 4 sell, 8 neutral, 16 buy. And then our moving average is 3 sell, 1 neutral, 13 buy. And then this will actually go through all the oscillators here and show you what's, you know, a buy, what's a sell. So you can see on the shorter term, it's all buy here for XRP. On the longer term, like that 200 moving average, it's a sell. So guys, I hope you like that. Let me know down below you get something from it. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wonderful to be here with you on a Saturday. I apologize that I went a little long here, but just wanted to get this out for you. God bless you all. Take care, and we'll see if Bitcoin makes a little move out of that pennant, whether it be to the upside or the downside. God bless, guys.